Well, good morning. Welcome to the first video of my post-grad life. I can't believe it. I'm excited you're here. If we haven't met yet, my name's Tiffany. I have spent the last 3 years documenting my life as a mom to 4 while going to grad school for mental health counseling. Today is Tuesday, it's the day after Labor Day, and on Friday, this past Friday, I graduated from my program with my master's in clinical mental health counseling, and now I am just awaiting my licensure. So I thought that a fun video to do would be this video ends when I get my license. So to bring you up to speed on that, I have applied for my LPC, Licensed Professional Counselor. The things that need to happen for them to approve that are we need a background check, which is cleared and already showing up in the state system, so that's good. We need to pass my national counseling exam, which I did on July 30th. Woo woo. Last thing that the state needs is my transcripts with my degree conferred. So today's September 2nd. My degree gets conferred by the school on the 5th. And then that's a Friday, and then I can officially put in my request for the school to send that to the state. One of my professors recommended doing it Monday. That way, if I fill out the request on Friday, the person looking might not see that the degree is conferred yet, since it's getting conferred on Friday. So I'm gonna wait till Monday. But the reason I'm so eager to get this going is because I actually cannot see clients until I get this license. I am staying at the site where I did my practicum and internship, which I feel so grateful for. So I have a whole caseload of people that I have had to kind of have conversations with. Are saying hey, just so you know, I have this break coming up in September. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but I can't see you until my license comes through. So I've been kind of preparing my clients for that. It's hard to not be able to tell them exactly how long it's gonna be. I'm guessing, I told them mid-October is when I've scheduled some visits for already. Really hoping it comes early October. Earlier would be great too, but that's my goal is mid-October that I'm back seeing clients, no stress. So yeah, I don't know how long this video is gonna be because I've got a to-do list and we're just gonna see. So come along. All right, so, whoops. All right, I had to readjust there for a second. So I have a list of things that I would like to work on. It is not so much the point to get through everything on that list. It's more just to feel like I'm productive and doing meaningful things while I wait for this licensure to come through. So the first thing on our list today is going to Costco. We got a Costco membership in the spring that we hadn't been members for at least 5, probably more 7 years, because Costco is a little bit far away from us. It's 20 to 25 minutes, so not bad, but also not super convenient, and I found I just wasn't using it very well back then. But with Costco's commitment to DEI and all of the good things the company does, we decided we wanted to utilize this as a tool to help us pull back from some of the other places that we don't love shopping at anymore. With that being said, I have kind of compiled a living, working document. I used ChatGPT to help me, although honestly it wasn't that helpful. I ended up editing most of it. So this is kind of a living, working document of all of the things we get at Kroger on our regular delivery, how much that costs, and then I'm writing the Costco price down the side. I'm trying to go to Costco once per month. It's been about 6 weeks since I went last time. So this is very much, it's too overwhelming for me to get all this information in one day at Costco, so I said, you know what, there's no reason I can't just have a living, working document and update what I can when I can every time I go. So that's what we're doing. And then in the process of that, I'm also creating a kind of standard list that will be my Costco staples list, that once per month I will aim to get those things. So we are off to the races today. I'm so excited because Costco now opens at 9 a.m. for executive members, and we made several big purchases, like an upright freezer at Costco, and so it just made more sense to do the executive member. Because that was actually one of the reasons we stopped going to Costco before, was that it didn't open till 10. My kids were like all in preschool at that time, and I would drop them off at like 8:30 and then have like this long gap of time before I could go to Costco, and then, preschool's half day, so by the time I would get there, I really didn't have time to go. So I'm excited that they open at 9 now, because that was definitely a major factor in why we stopped using it. So yay, come along. Woo-wee. Well, $357 later and 90 minutes, I think. Yeah, it's 10:23. I got here right at 9, so almost an hour and a half. And we have our Costco haul for the month. I did not stick to the list. However, the things that were not on the list that I bought were things that I had hoped to price compare last time, but I had all 4 kids with me, and I just couldn't see, like, okay, how much is mayo at Kroger versus Costco? Like, it was too much to do the whole list. So I made a lot more headway on that list this time, and if there was something that I could tell that was, definitely cheaper at Costco and that I know that we will use, I went ahead and bought it. So I'm hoping that this Costco run will last us quite some time, because we may have some of those things already that we're using up. Just trying to be more mindful, stocking up, but not stocking up so much that I can't remember what we have. It's too hard to store. So I tried to be mindful about all of that. And then the things that were on my list that I did get were things that I bought 6 weeks ago when I was last here, and I knew that I needed again because we were already out or running really low. So all in all, an expensive but productive trip to Costco. I don't think I will get to anything else on my to-do list today. It's gonna be my day. Keep checking back because we've got a while until I'm licensed. I am just going to go to therapy here in a bit, and then I am going to go to Meijer and do some of that shopping. And that's probably about all we will get to. It's amazing, like, how much you can get done with the kids not at home, but also like how much you don't actually have the time you think you do. So that's what these first couple days of waiting on my license are feeling like. I didn't film this part yesterday, but for the second day in a row, I am driving straight past that place to a place that still supports DEI. All right, so yesterday it was Costco. There was a Target right next to the Costco as well. But I'm going in for some of those essentials on my list. And I won't say that driving past Target still doesn't hurt. It still does. I still miss Target. And I have not stopped completely, because there are some things that I couldn't find anywhere else, or life was just lifing, and that drive up was my best option on a given day. But man, does it feel better when I make other decisions instead. welcome to what I suspect is the end of my luteal phase. I am feeling it today. I am so tired. So this room behind me, this disaster of a room, is our guest bedroom that we are hoping to turn into a telehealth space during this break. It's the project I'm most excited for. However, lots of work has to happen before then. So let me turn the camera on and show you the situation. These are piles of cloth diapers that I would like to donate to a place, but that place, the drop-off center where I can donate them, is like a half hour away. So I'm considering doing that today. Over here is some bedding for this bassinet called the Arms Reach Co-Sleeper, which I also want to donate. However, baby items aren't as straightforward of a Goodwill donation. Most places do not take cribs and things because of liability, and so I have to figure out what to do with the bassinet. The easiest thing to do is probably post it on like Marketplace or in one of my mom's groups, and I just don't have the energy for it, but that is what would get me going in that room. And then there is also laundry aisle here that will also, once that's cleared out, will also make a lot of this easier, because the biggest thing that has to happen in that guest bedroom is getting the queen size bed out of there and put into my boys' room, which is, so they've got a bunk bed and this twin size bed. How cute is this though? My two older boys, who are not getting smaller, sleep in this twin size bed together, even though there are separate sleeping spaces for all of them. They choose to sleep together. And so we're like, why don't we give them a queen size bed instead of this? And then I want to take this bed and convert it into a day bed to use like a couch in a telehealth space / home office in the guest bedroom. So I'm really excited for this project overall. But today is not a good day in terms of energy and like doing the things that need to happen. So, and as you can see, we're a disaster around here. It's very messy. I'm keeping it real today. So, very exciting update. As I was sitting down to eat my lunch, I got the email that my degree has been conferred. Woo woo! The reason that this is so exciting is because this is the step that I was kind of waiting for before any of my other paperwork for my licensure can happen. They need the transcripts with the degree conferred. Right, so that drop off could not have been easier, and it actually reminded me of a story that I think fits really well in the theme of this video. So showed the sign there. It's like this place that the first location of it, now they have a few, but the first location of it actually opened like 5 minutes from my house down the street years ago, like prior to COVID. I think at least when my third baby was still like probably a toddler, and then my fourth. And I always thought I would go there with them, and I never have. I've never been in that location that's right near me. And so it's kind of ironic that the first time I was in one of these locations was now, because I think it's very centered on very young kids, like under the age of 5, even like under the age of 3 is what it's really optimized for. And it fits in with this video because I've mentioned before on my channel how like I felt a pull away from the stay-at-home mom life and going to the zoo and scoping out all the new play places and all of those things that a stay-at-home parent often does and that I loved for a long time. And I never did that. I never went with babies 3 and 4, and I think it just like speaks to this whole transition that kind of started happening when they were babies, where it's like I love being a stay-at-home mom, but also like I'm feeling the pull back into the workforce, and what do I want to do? And like I didn't know then yet that I was going to be going to grad school to become a counselor, and that I would be, you know, awaiting my licensure just a few years later. But here I am. And so I don't know, it was just kind of an ironic moment. And I think also just like giving away the baby things is a little emotional. So yeah, I've just kind of contemplative about that right now. All right, we're gonna see how well this camera is going to work suspended the way it is. I'm coming to you from the inside of my linen closet. Back there is our guest bedroom. I am going to try to put away 3 baskets of towels while talking and give you guys a status update. However, let's see here, the thing holding this camera is a bag of garbage, or a box of garbage bags, in which I needed to grab one. So status update. Today is Thursday, and I have not done much this week. Monday I got done some important things like getting my transcripts and updating my LPC application, but I didn't do much else. I've just been so tired. Tuesday I worked my butt off meal prepping, which was great and set us up for a great week of meals. However, was not on my kind of to-do list of these things that I'm trying to get through. So where are things at in my LPC application? I uploaded my transcript on Monday. Got an auto email that said like your document submission request has been received. Please give like 10 days for an update, which is fine. And then I checked the status this morning, and I think that they actually updated the notes section where it says what's still needed. I think before it said need degree conferral and score report, and now it just says need score report, which is good. However, also I know that they already were sent the score report from like the company, the organization that had to do that. So I have an email in that I sent on Monday to say, hey, here's the email saying the score report was sent. What else, is there anything else that's needed? So that's where we're at on the LPC application. I am pretty sure that if the only thing I do today is getting these towels folded off my to-do list, I'm probably going to call that a win and not do much else because I'm tired, and that's okay. This month off work is meant to be a mix of productivity and rest. And I don't want to feel like I felt yesterday where I literally lost track of time and like didn't do anything. But I also don't want to overdo it. So that's where we're at. I think I'm going to put on an audiobook and just keep rolling away these towels. lot shorter than I thought it was going to be, because I got my email just a couple hours ago that I am officially an LPC, a licensed professional counselor in the state of Ohio. Yay! So it happened a lot quicker than I thought it would. I was pretty much convinced I wouldn't hear anything until early October. So the fact that we're here in September 18th, just 2 days before my 42nd birthday, which is fun because actually on my 39th birthday is the day I started the program. So almost exactly 3 years later, here I am. So super exciting. And what this means is I have my dependent licensure. So dependent licensure means I still have to be supervised, and then for at least 2 years, so a minimum of 24 months, I have to have this LPC license. And in that time, if I want to move on to the next licensure, which is an LPCC, Licensed Professional Clinical Counselor, I have to hold this license for a minimum of 2 years, gain 3,000 hours of work experience, and half of those need to be direct face-to-face with clients hours. And I'm sure there's some like training and things like that. Oh, and 150 hours of supervision in those minimum of 2 years. So I work part-time. I don't want to work full-time. So my goal is to have that next level in 3 years. 2.5 would be great. If I do an average of 12.5 visits per week, I will get there in about 2.5 years. So that's kind of my goal. Looking at the 2.5 to 3 year mark. If it happens a little closer to the 2 year mark, that's great, but there's really no rush. What that will mean is then I will be able to practice without ongoing supervision. So all really exciting stuff. I'll be getting individual supervision with somebody at my site every other week, and then I have a group supervision group that I joined as well over the summer, and that's 90 minutes every other week. So between those two things, I'll be able to get those 150 hours in that time as well. So thanks for coming along on this video, and I'm sad I didn't get through more of my list, but I guess it's for a good reason.